Hey guys, it's Edie. I just wanted to say a quick hello. This is in fact my first video, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I am doing it in my car. I know, not very classy of me. Oh well, I thought it'd be kind of fun to do kind of a different setting for a video rather than just all the lights and cameras and action. Hope you guys enjoy it. Maybe I'll start a little thread of vlogging videos in my car, so we'll see. I'll let you guys know. Anyways, let's get on to the topic. I'm going to talk a little bit about my piercings. I got a septum and my navel pierced last week. Trying to give you guys some tips on what I think is the most valuable to know beforehand, during, and after. So tip number 1 is kind of common and just about everyone knows it, but I'll repeat it just to make sure. Make sure you do your research on your piercings. Sometimes you don't want to check out some of those that are really serious bad cases, because those usually don't happen. So don't freak yourself over it. But it is a good idea to let yourself know kind of what an idea of the pain is going to be, and an idea of what the care is going to be, and some ideas on just what to expect when you go. Second thing is cheap is not always the best. Trust me, I thought about going to a place that was on the cheaper side and they seemed kind of unprofessional, so I decided to go somewhere else. You pay a little more, usually you get better service. And I have to say, I did pay a little more, but the experience that I got was fan-stinkin-tastic. I really actually enjoyed getting my piercings. And I love getting piercings, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I'm not so big on the needles, but I had a fantastic experience. So do your research, figure it out, talk to the piercers, find out if they're sanitary. Please make sure that they're sanitary, because that is a big deal. If you are getting pierced with a dirty needle, not good, not good. So don't do it. Another thing is, if you can get recommendations from people who've already been pierced at a shop and get their experience, that's a really good idea. Number 4, I don't know about you, but I like doing things at convenient times. But if you're gonna get a piercing in a spot that's a little bit uncomfortable or not exactly the most convenient, I would recommend going on a day when you're not doing anything else. I did get my navel pierced, which is not really that odd of a spot, you would think. But, you know, it's actually really awful when you're sitting trying to have dinner with a friend and all you can think about is how bad your tummy hurts. So don't go on a day when you got other things you gotta get done, okay? So the 5th thing I would have to say is, as much fun as it is to take all your friends and everybody and your mom and your dad and your sister and your brothers all with you into the piercing room, unless they're calm, don't do it. If you have anybody you're taking with you who's worried or anxious about you getting your piercing, ask them to wait outside, and they can admire it from a distance. It is not good to take someone into the room who's going to be nervous for you and cause your nervousness to go like this. Not a good idea. So lastly, probably the biggest, most incredible thing you could do after you get a piercing is to clean it. I know what you're thinking. Everybody says that, but you know, it's actually true. If you don't want to get an infection, clean your piercings, please. It's not that hard. Most piercers will either give you a solution or they'll tell you how to make a salt soak solution. It's not very hard, I promise, and it cost me maybe $3 to make it. That's totally worth trying to make sure my piercings are clean and heal correctly. Just as a side note, in case you're wondering, the saline solution is about 1/4 of a teaspoon and about 8 ounces of water, give or take a little bit, and it's pretty simple. Generally you want purified water, so bottled water is probably your best bet. It's really that simple. Alright, moving on. I thought I'd tell you guys a little bit about my experience in the shop. I didn't have a chance to film it, but I thought I'd tell you guys how it went for me, because it went pretty well. But there was a few things that I think I would have liked to know before I went in. First of all, I went in and I got both my piercings at the same time. Highly recommended. It's so much better to just go through the pain twice than to go through it 2 different times. So definitely if you're planning on getting a couple piercings, I mean, put it at a limit, but I'd recommend getting them at the same time. So if you have the money, make it work. My septum piercing was actually the one I did first because I was nervous about it, and people always said that it hurt. Actually, with the septum, it does in fact make your eyes water, so that's why I think people have gotten this idea that it hurts. It's not actually because it's so painful that you cry, it's generally just because your nose gives your eyes that reaction because it's just so offended you're stabbing it with a needle. It's not that bad, I assure you. In fact, I think it hurt less than my regular ear piercing because I got my ear piercings with a gun at Claire's. Side little rant note, please don't get your piercings at a shop that uses piercing guns because actually it really makes it hurt more. I always used to think that it made it hurt less. It doesn't. It makes it hurt more, and it actually causes more stress to the tissue. So try to go to a shop that uses actual needles so you don't have to worry about getting infections or all that fun jazz. And one of the biggest reasons I got my septum is because I love it, but also because I have a job where I can't have a piercing showing, and so I in fact decided that I'd take the plunge and I got the septum. So if you guys have a job that you can't show piercing at, like I said, definitely would recommend it because you can flip it up even after it's just been pierced. It's totally okay. They should show you how to do it. It's pretty simple. You just kind of make a weird face, kind of like, and you kind of go, and then you sort of stick it up in there, and it's gone. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. They should show you. My piercer showed me when I got it done because I did tell her that was a concern of mine. She said, no big deal, don't worry about it. We can totally make it work and we can do it. So highly recommend getting the septum pierced. It does not hurt as much as people say it does. It's great if you have a job where you can't have a piercing at. And honestly, I just really like it. I've always liked septums, so get it if you want to. It's pretty great. Moving right along, my navel actually was the one that hurt. I'm not a wimp, I assure you. But what happened was I am ticklish down in my tummy areas, and so when she went to pierce me, I moved. One of the other things, which could partly be because of the fact that I moved with the navel, but one of the things I didn't quite get and kind of alarmed me when I first got the piercing was a little while after I got it pierced, it did start to bleed a little bit, not bad, but it did bleed a little bit, and I was getting a little concerned because I was trying to figure out why it was bleeding, because I didn't know that obviously it's a little normal for piercings to bleed a little bit and then they stop. It's sort of circumstantial, partly because my piercing was a little bit sensitive. So to be 100% honest, if your piercing is bleeding and not stopping, then you really should tell your piercer and let them know and go in and have it checked, because that's not okay. And we don't want you bleeding to death. So let's not do that, okay? I think that's just about everything I have to say on my piercings. I'm going to be making lots more videos. I'm going to be putting them out just about every week if I can. So if you guys want to, please check out down below. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below. And if you liked the video, don't forget to like the video. And if you haven't already, also, I have an Instagram account. It's O_classic_Edie. So if you haven't already, go check that out. I post just about every other day on there. So I hope you guys have a lovely day, and see you guys next time. Stay strong, stay beautiful, stay amazing, and I'll talk to you guys later.